Good morning, students. Today in Nationalism in India, we will revise the topic limitations of civil disobedience movement and the difference between non-cooperation movement and civil disobedience movement. Children, as you know, civil disobedience movement was the first struggle to win Poon Swaraj or complete independence. You know that it was based on non-violent satyagraha. It was an open challenge to the British rule. The people openly disobeyed the laws. But children, not all the social groups were moved by the abstract idea or the concept of Swaraj. Now here we will see which group has not participated or were the lukewarm. One such group was Nations Untouchable, who from around 1930s had begun to call themselves Dalit or oppressed. Children, as you know, for long the Congress had ignored the Dalits for fear of offending the Sanatanis, the conservative high caste Hindus. They had this fear that if they will support the Dalit, it may go against the conservative high caste Hindus, and they do not want to lose the support of high caste Hindus. But Mahatma Gandhi declared that Swaraj would not come for 100 years if untouchability was not eliminated. He called the untouchable Harijan or the children of God, organized satyagraha to secure their entry into temples and access to public wells, tank, roads, and schools. He himself cleaned toilets to dignify the work of these people and persuaded upper caste to change their heart and give up the sin of untouchability. But many Dalit leaders were keen on different political solution to the problem of community. They began organizing themselves, demanding reserved seats in educational institutions and a separate electorate that would choose Dalit member for legislative council. Political empowerment, they believed, would resolve the problem of their social disabilities. Dalit participation in the civil disobedience movement was therefore limited, particularly in Maharashtra and Nagpur region, where their organization was quite strong. Children, in 1930, B.R. Ambedkar organized the Dalits into Depressed Classes Association. You have to learn this better. Who has organized Dalits into Depressed Classes Association? B.R. Ambedkar in 1930. And then he had a clash with the Mahatma Gandhi at the second round table conference because there he demanded the separate electorates for the Dalit, and Gandhiji was against of it because according to him the separate electorates for Dalit would slow down the process of their integration into the society, and then he went for the fast unto death. Ambedkar ultimately accepted Gandhiji's position and the result was Pune Pact. What is Pune Pact? Pune Pact, it gave the depressed classes, later it was known as scheduled caste, reserved seats in the provincial and central legislative councils, but they were to be voted by the general electorates. The Dalit movement, however, continued to be apprehensive of Congress-led national movement. That means there was a still dilemma in the minds of Dalit, and they proved to be a lukewarm in the participation of national movement, that is civil disobedience movement. Next, participation of Muslims. Some of the Muslim political organizations in India were also lukewarm in their response to the civil disobedience movement. because after the decline of non-cooperation and Khilafat movement, a large section of Muslims felt alienated from Congress. From the mid 1920s, the Congress came to be more visibly associated with openly Hindu religious nationalist group like Hindu Mahasabha. As the relation between Hindu and Muslim worsened, each community organized religious procession with militant fervor, provoking Hindu-Muslim communal clashes and riots in various cities. Children, because of this, every riots started deepening the distance between the two communities. The Congress and the Muslim League made efforts to renegotiate an alliance, and in 1927 it appeared that such a unity could be forged. The important difference were over the question of representation in future assemblies that were to be elected. So, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, one of the leader of Muslim League, was willing to give up the demand for separate electorates if Muslims were assured reserved seats in the Central Assembly and representation in proportion to population in the Muslim dominated provinces, for example Bengal and Punjab. Negotiations over the question of representation continued, but all hopes of resolving the issue at all party conference in 1928 disappeared when M.R. Jaikar of Hindu Mahasabha strongly opposed efforts to compromise. That is why, children, when the civil disobedience movement started, there was an atmosphere of suspicion and distrust between the communities. Alienated from Congress, large section of Muslims could not respond to the civil disobedience movement or a united struggle. Many Muslim leaders and intellectuals expressed their concern about the status of Muslims as a minority within India. They feared that the culture and identity of minorities would be submerged under the domination of a Hindu majority. Now let's move to the next topic, that is difference between non-cooperation movement and civil disobedience movement. Children, we have revised both the movements. One is non-cooperation movement and the other one is civil disobedience movement. Now let's see what is the difference between the two. Now children, the first difference between the two is non-cooperation movement was launched in 1921 and on the other hand the civil disobedience movement 1930. Second, the condition created by the First World War, Rowlatt Act, Jallianwala Bagh massacre and mistreatment of Khalifas were the basic cause behind the movement. Means why we have started the non-cooperation movement? Because of the condition which was created after the First World War, then Jallianwala Bagh massacre and all, and the non-cooperation movement because of Great Depression, Great Economic Depression of 1929, failure of Simon Commission and the rejection of Gandhiji's 11 demand which he has sent to the Viceroy Lord Irwin. Then the third one is, in the cities the middle class participated on the large scale and in the countryside peasants launched the movement against the talukdar landlords, whereas in the plantation gardens of Assam people launched the movement against the state owners and fought against the Inland Immigration Act. And due to Khalifa issue, Muslim community participate on a large scale. That means in the non-cooperation movement, even the Muslim community had participated. On the other hand, in the cities, the movement was supported by businessmen because they were hard hit by the Great Economic Depression in 1929, and in the countryside, rich peasants community actively participated. And from the mid 1920s, the Congress came to be more visibly associated with openly Hindu religious nationalist group. So the Muslim did not participated in the movement on the large scale, as we have seen in the non-cooperation movement. Then the movement was withdrawn by Gandhiji in 1922 due to the violent incident at Chauri Chaura, in which 22 policemen were killed. And the civil disobedience movement was taken off or was withdrawn because of Gandhi-Irwin Pact, which was signed in 1931. Then the next one is, the movement started with the middle class participation in cities. Thousands of students left government controlled schools and colleges. They boycotted the foreign goods, picketed the liquor shop. The import of foreign clothes halved between 1921 and 1922, and the value dropping from 102 crore to 57 crore. And on the other side, in civil disobedience movement, Gandhiji started the Dandi March, and on 6th April he had broken the salt law by manufacturing the salt. As the movement spread, foreign clothes was boycotted and the liquor shops were also picketed. Peasants refused to pay revenue and the chowkidari taxes. Villages officials resigned, and in many places forest people violated the laws. How did they violate it? They started going into the reserve forest to collect wood and to graze their cattle. And in non-cooperation movement, women did not participated on the large scale, but here in civil disobedience movement, as we have already seen, studied, large scale participation of women was an important feature of the civil disobedience movement. During Gandhiji's salt march, thousands of women came out of their homes to listen to him. They participated in the protest marches, manufactured salt, picketed foreign clothes and liquor shops, and to serve the nation they started thinking that it is a sacred duty of every woman. I think this difference between the non-cooperation and civil disobedience movement is clear. Children, what you have to do, you have to write this answer in your notebook also. Write down the question, what were the difference between the non-cooperation and civil disobedience movement, and copy down these 5 points. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.